right, good morning, everyone. Standing in for Mayor Miles, who is the chair of the local PSPRS Fire Board, I would like to call this meeting to order. Can we get a roll call?
Yes, Chairperson Miles is excused today. Board Member Boone?
Here.
Board Member Borger?
Here.
Board Member Ellico?
Here.
And Board Member Gilbert.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes from the July 21st meeting?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
And if there's no corrections, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Is that no?
Yeah, which one? These or all of them?
That
Okay,
new
gotcha.
employee. We have no appointments this time. We do have a new hire. We received a packet, and those in chambers have reviewed it, for Zachary Dixon. Secretary Meredith.
Yes, thank you, Board Member Ellico. We did receive for the one new position since we've met last for Zachary Dixon. And Dr. Peterson did note on the pre-existing form that there is a pre-existing condition. That paperwork is available for review for those who are not in attendance in my office. If you would like to see that, those present have reviewed that, and it will be put on file.
All right, thank you. So, and entertain a motion to accept Zachary Dixon into the PSPRS system with the pre-existing condition listed on his medical form.
So I'm just want to clarify before we get there. So all we're doing is just whether we want to accept them in a PSPRS with this existing condition. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that just goes back to if he were to try to do a disability claim using that as a determining factor,
Yeah.
we could exclude that
Okay.
disability.
Gotcha. So it's just on file. All right. I'll make a motion for Zachary Dixon to be accepted in the PSPRS with his pre-existing condition.
I can second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Call to the public. Visitors are provided a time to make statements to the board. Those wishing to do so must notify the PSPRS secretary. Statements shall be limited to no more than 5 minutes. Please keep in mind that the board cannot take action on comments, questions, or concerns at this time. Secretary Meredith, did we receive any call to the public?
We did not receive any written comments in advance, nor is there anyone present that would wish to address the board at this time.
All right, thank you. Moving on to announcements. Does anyone have any announcements limited to conference attendance or seminars? All right, seeing none. We have no old business, so moving to new business. We'd like to acknowledge Robert Cassen's normal retirement from PSPRS. His packet was available here, and those in chambers have reviewed it. So I'll take a motion to accept that if there's no questions.
I'll make a motion for Robert Casson to retire from PSPRS.
I can second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We thank him for his service. We'd like to acknowledge Kelly Johnson's retirement from the drop portion of PSPRS and retire fully. We had his packet also available in chambers, and it was reviewed. I'll take a motion to accept that.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge Kelly Johnson's drop retirement from PSPRS.
I can second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. We thank him for his service and his extra 5 years that we got of his. The next motion is legislative update from Secretary Meredith.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity just to bring some updated information. I did provide copies here for those that were not able to be in attendance. I will email you what I provided. PSPRS does have this on their website, which is where I pulled it from. And I'm just going to review not all the bills that were in this session, but just the ones that will be enacted and the ones that may affect us, both as the membership and the local board. So the first one is House Bill 2059, Retirement Systems Benefit Computation Return to Work. This is, and I'm just going to read their summary so that I don't mess up with my own interpretation. Says in the computation of average monthly benefit compensation for the public safety personnel retirement system, a period of non-paid or partially paid industrial leave must be considered based on the compensation the employee would have received in the employee's job classification if the employee was not on industrial leave. Payment of benefits to a public safety personnel retirement system, corrections officer retirement plan, or elected officials retirement plan member are required to commence no later than April 1 of the calendar year following the later of the date the member terminates employment, or the calendar year in which the member attains 72 years of age, increased from 70.5 years of age. So all of these, this says they all become law on September 9th, 2021 for you. House Bill 2381, Psprs, Corp, and local boards consolidation. This one, I'm not going to read the summary because they had actually sent out to us, and if you didn't receive it, I can forward this email in June, letting us know what this bill was going to do. And this is the one that I kind of alluded to at our last meeting. So PSPRS is going to take over effective January 1, 2022, all retirement applications. So the process we just went through acknowledging and approving, that's actually going to go through PSPRS directly now. With the exception of disability and line of duty deaths, those will be sent to us for the local board to review and maintain those official records. We will also continue to determine the membership eligibility of new hires, like we did also earlier in this meeting, and acknowledge those. They are also requiring now under this bill local board training. So before it was anybody that was coming onto the board could attend the annual training that PSPRS puts on if they'd like to, but they will now have to go through that training to serve on the board. And then it also mentions about noncompliance with the model uniform rules and failure to take corrective action, then PSPRS can take the local board duties until those things are corrected. The next one is House Bill 2700. This is pertains really just to county offices, their salaries and the increase. So they're increasing the salaries of some county elected officials. In Senate Bill 1045, defined contribution health subsidy disability. Retired members of PSPRS defined contribution retirement system are no longer required to pay the premium for coverage in the group health and accident coverage and are no longer excluded from eligibility for benefits under the health insurance premium assistance program for members with disability. The accidental disability pension for a member of the public safety personnel retirement system must be at least 50% of the member's average monthly benefit compensation. The PSPRS board is required to establish and administer a group health benefits plan for retired participants who elect to participate. For 90 days after the effective date of this legislation, existing PSPDCRS participants have an opportunity to opt into the group health benefits plan through an irrevocable election to pay the required costs through payroll deduction. Each participant in the group health benefits plan and the participant's employer are required to pay an equal amount for cost as actuarially determined for the plan. Other provisions relating to accidental disability pension, this legislation becomes effective July 1. So that one, they actually enacted a little bit sooner. The next one is Senate Bill 1046, member distributions, deferred retirement and transfers. For the purpose of public safety personnel retirement system rollover distributions, the definition of eligible retirement plan is expanded to include a Roth individual retirement account that satisfies the requirements of Section 408A of the Federal Internal Revenue Code. A PSPRS member or the member's surviving spouse who is entitled to receive an eligible rollover distribution is authorized to elect to directly roll over all or part of that distribution to an eligible retirement plan, and a member's beneficiary other than the spouse is authorized, on death of the member, to elect to directly roll over all or part of an eligible rollover distribution from the system. Requirements for eligible rollover distributions are specified, and that one was actually made retroactive to January 1 of 2020. So that will affect some of our members when they're doing the drop retirement, because it all has to go into right now a nationwide type of account. So this gives them an additional option for that. Senate Bill 1298, fire districts, pension liability, and financing. I'm not going to read this one because we are not a fire district. Senate Bill 1396, Corp survivor benefits. I'm also not going to read that one because we are not Corp. And the last one is Senate Bill 1649, PSPRS investment reporting. And the Public Safety Personnel Retirement System Board of Trustees is required to issue a request for proposals every 5 years for an external auditor to develop a policy regarding routine stress testing of the retirement systems and plans administered by the board at the employer level and the system level. The board is required to annually review and adopt a pension funding policy for each defined benefit plan and system administered by the board that outlines the strategy to achieve financial solvency. By June 30th of each year, the board is required to submit to the governor and the legislature a financial report that includes a list of specified information and to post the report on the PSPRS website. Expands the information that the board is required to include in the PSPRS annual report to the governor and the legislature to include an estimate of the aggregate fees paid for alternative investments in addition to private equity investments including carried interest. The Senate President and Speaker of the House of Representatives are each required to appoint one member to the PSPRS Advisory Committee who is either a legislator or a legislative staff member. Also conditioned on the enactment of HB 2381, a PSPRS or Corrections Officer Retirement Plan Local Board's independent legal counsel is prohibited from representing a PSPRS member before any local board or judicial appeal of a local board decision. And so that one's more for the state PSPRS board, but I wanted to make sure you guys had that information. Are there any questions regarding the information I've provided? And again, I will be sure to email this out to those who were not able to be here today in person.
That was a wonderful amount of information. Thank you for sharing that, because even though I tried to keep up with stuff, I didn't realize there was that many PSPRS items that went through the session this time, so thank you.
And just one last thing, the mayor had mentioned we will be attending the League of Arizona Cities and Towns next week. I was able to review their agenda. There is a PSPRS item, but it is more on the unfunded liability, so I would expect that our finance team, who will also be in attendance, Director Moline, will be interested in that, not so much as the local board would be.
Thank you. Were there any other questions about that legislative update? The next item is future agenda items. Does anyone have anything they would like to put on a future agenda to be covered? All right, hearing none, I
don't.
would look towards adjournment. Can I get a motion for that?
Before we
Oh.
adjourn, I don't know if Bob or Kelly are in attendance, but I'd like to at least extend my gratitude and deep appreciation for their many years of service, and really looking forward to their retirement, but I really enjoyed working with them. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you for your time.
And thank you all for your work today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.